Hi guys. Do you know what I find awkward? That whole hello, welcome back to my channel. It's actually awkward, and if you do videos I'm sure you know what I mean. Anyway, welcome back, Sha. I'll just say a quick thank you to everybody that's been like, oh my gosh, you're back on YouTube now properly. Yeah, I just appreciate you guys that have motivated me, encouraging me to come back on the tube. Hopefully now I'll take no more breaks and stuff. Don't forget to subscribe, by the way, and click the notification thingy so you'll be the first to know when I, okay, let me just, can't I be serious? Like, I'm gonna be serious because this is quite a serious topic. I just want to talk, literally, I just want to talk about a couple of things that have been in my heart. Hopefully by the time I end this video, I hope what I say would make sense and encourage somebody out there. Yeah, here it goes. Earlier on this year, if I was to compare the beginning of this year to how the year is ending, the first half of this year was just crap. I just went through too much, and obviously I'm back on my feet again. Like, I thank God, because the low place that I was in, looking back to it, I'm just like, how can this be me now at the end of the year? Like, it's a testimony that I'm actually okay, sort of thing. And I did a video like last year about my depression story, and I remember at the point I was going through stuff again, like the beginning of this year, I would say to myself like, nah, I've overcome depression, what am I doing? Like, it was hurting me that I was back in that place and worse. Do you get what I mean? But thank God that I'm literally come out of the other side like a champion that I am. I went through a lot of stuff at the beginning of this year, and I just stopped going to church. Legit, like, I don't remember how long for like a few months. I wasn't going consistently. Like, I would miss like 3 weeks, come back, miss 2 weeks, come back, miss a week. But it was just, I was everywhere. I actually gave up on God because nothing that I was going through at the time made sense. It's so easy to forget that we tell ourselves to trust God, like, no matter what. Like me, I'm banging on trust God, you know, like, he's in control of our lives. But you know, when you get to that point where you're just like, I know I've been saying all this stuff, but do I actually believe it? Do I actually understand how to trust God when things don't make sense? Do I know how to actually stay strong when I feel like I have no more strength? Do I know how to make God my strength? Do you get what I mean? When life hits you hard, it's possible to just hit rock bottom. Like, I actually hit, okay, I'm not gonna do that, I actually hit rock bottom. Honestly, the devil really thought he had me. I stopped like all my commitments, uni, I stopped taking opportunities, I just stopped. I became so stagnant because I literally felt like the weight of the world was on my shoulders. The thing is, when I stopped going to church, yeah, it was hurting me that I had stopped going, because obviously I know that, like, where I'm at now in life, I know that I need church. Like, church keeps me going, it keeps me stable. I need to constantly feed my soul. I would always tell myself, depression isn't my portion again, like, come on, what are you doing? But I literally physically couldn't find myself doing anything. I just stopped doing everything. Why am I sharing this? I'm sharing this because I know that I'm not the only one that has gone through things in life where you feel like, oh, just burn everything, like, I can't be asked to do anything. I've been there. Like, there was days that I couldn't get off my bed, I couldn't leave my house, I couldn't even eat. It got me hard, and I was just like, what happened to all the times that I would tell people, don't give up on God, keep praying? Like, I stopped praying, I stopped doing everything, I stopped worshiping. Jesus, the devil's a liar, because he really thought he had me. And I just want to say, as hard as life gets, like, don't give up on God, because during those times, yeah, I felt so empty. I knew I shouldn't be at home. I knew I shouldn't be missing church, missing work, missing whatever I have to do, but I couldn't help myself. And I literally lost that part of me that was always reassuring myself that God has me. Now that I've come out of that place, looking back on it, I know that obviously it was my fault. Whose fault was it? When people say things like, oh, when you feel like God has left you, or when you feel like far from God, it was you that walked out. They're not joking when they say that. It didn't just randomly happen as well. I feel like it was a build up of things. So I think at first, because I was so discouraged because I was going through so much, I think I stopped praying. Like I stopped doing my morning devotions, like my morning prayer time, my quiet time basically. Once I stopped doing that kind of stuff, I was losing my actual intimacy with God. The only way to build intimacy with anybody is to spend time with them, to literally spend time getting to know them, speak to them. And I wasn't doing that with God. As I was literally running on empty, I couldn't find my strength. Thank God, God is our power source, and once you spend time away from the power source, you're gonna have no power. And I remember I would try and, you know, like pray, but because I was so far away, like I just couldn't feel any connection. And honestly, I only blame myself, because it's not like I don't know the word. It's not like I don't know that once I like step far from God, I'm gonna be even weaker. And I feel like I could have come out of the place I was quicker if I just plugged back in again. But because I left it, it was even harder to get back on track, to be myself again. Obviously that's why I couldn't even speak like on my channel. I couldn't do anything. I wasn't even strong enough to help myself. Who am I to like help people? Some of us, we haven't reached anywhere and we want to like jump on the altar, we want to like start ministries, when deep down we know that our own relationship with God is just taking L's. I had to be real with myself and tell myself like there's no point in me trying to speak to people, trying to give them advice, trying to encourage them about my life or whatever, when my own life is just literally but yeah, back to my point. I had to start like reminding myself, okay, God actually has me. God does know what's best for me. He has plans for my life that are better than what I have for myself. He is in control. He is the Alpha and Omega. I had to start feeding myself gradually with the word of God. And it's like I started to feel myself again when I literally came back to the altar and I had to surrender. And I feel like that's what many of us forget to do. We feel like, oh God, I've not prayed in a while, I haven't gone to church in a while, it's too late now, let me just keep doing what I'm doing. When I started to pray again, it wasn't even a thing where I was praying like I usually pray. It would have to actually be the small prayer, like, okay, Lord, I thank you for my day, I pray that as I start my day, you'll be with me. It was just small prayers. And then eventually I felt like, yes, I can push again, I can pray like I used to, I can read the word like I used to. I'm sharing this because I've spoken to a lot of people that have reached that point where they feel like they've come so far from God, like they've stayed out of his presence for so long that they don't even know how to come back into it. There's no better way than to just start again. Start from scratch. It's like climbing a ladder. You climb, you climb, you climb, you get to the top or whatever, you get halfway. If you fall down, you're gonna have to go back to the bottom. There were days where I would try and like start praying like I usually pray, and it just felt wrong. Then I had to realize, well, I need to actually go back to basics, because I've stayed out of this for so long. I need to go back to the bottom. Let me go back to the basics. Yeah, I kind of went from there really. It helps to, you know, pray with people, study with people, but it's different when you do it by yourself, sort of thing. Another reason why I kind of stopped going to church as well, because I just started to see like so many flaws in church people. And I'm saying flaws now, but at the time it wasn't even like I was seeing it as flaws. I was seeing it as church people are fake, like honestly. Obviously now looking back to it, I know that, well, I can't leave the church because people have offended me, or because I feel like, oh, you're preaching one thing but you're living another thing. We're actually all human. There was a day where I sat down, I was thinking like, Precious, this mindset you have has to go. Me myself, I'm a church person. I mess up. I don't always get it right. So why do I have to label everybody else that gets this wrong as, oh yeah, you're fake, man? I can't judge anybody. I'm not God. I can be judged too. Church politics and like church hurt really kept me from the church for a long time. But then I'm at a place now, I'm just like, I'm not going to church for these people. Yes, it's annoying because people that hurt you are like around you, the same fellowships as you, the same I don't know, the same church as you, but at the same time you're not really coming for them. I had to switch my focus and be like, I'm here to grow, I'm here for God. I'm always telling myself now, I'm actually living for the audience of one. I'm living for God and God alone, and no one can tell me otherwise. Just as I am imperfect, everybody else is imperfect. Everyone's trying to grow. Even the highest of people, the highest of pastors, the highest of ministers, the highest of leaders are not always going to get it right. and that's okay. Once we like stop placing people on pedestals, stop making people God over our lives, it becomes easier to literally serve God and God alone. Because sometimes we can start like doing things because this person said so. Don't allow anyone to take the place of God in your life, because then you start to idolize them, you start to do as they say, and it's like when they mess up, when they disappoint you, it feels like your whole world has crashed. By the end of the day, God is the only one that won't disappoint you. Man is man. At the end of the day, no matter if they're like the biggest, whoever they are, they're actually still man. They can't be God. Like, God is unconditional. God is ever loving. Only God that won't give up on you. Do you get what I mean? And because I know that I kind of place people like, not as my God, but I kind of gave them that same I gave people that kind of right over me where they can like dictate what I do. I gave people too much of me where if they'll disappoint me or do one thing to hurt me, I'll be like, oh, that's it. Like, nobody has that kind of right over you. No one should have that right over you. I had to really humble myself, because me, I'm also a man. I can offend somebody by accident. I had to really start being graceful to others. But I feel like that only happened once I started to be graceful with myself. Because I feel like even when I spent time out with his parents, like, I lost my identity in God. Do you get what I mean? I lost my confidence, my self-esteem. I lost it all. And I think I said it in my last video. You can't love yourself if you don't love yourself through God's eyes. And I feel like looking at myself through God's eyes, I got to see who he believed me to be. Like, I got to see myself through him again. That helped me to now see everybody else through his eyes. So those of us that may have the whole mindset of I don't like churches because church people are the worst people. The church is like a hospital. It's like when you go to hospital, you're gonna say, I don't like going there because everyone is so sick. Actually, people do say that, you know. Oh, I don't go to doctors, you know. I don't go to hospital, you know, because everyone's always sick. I hate it, it's dirty. Okay, so when you get sick now, where are you gonna go? I beg you, let me know. We all need our souls to be fed. Let's not allow people's like mishaps to get in the way of us being fed by God. We're all trying to make it. You know, and looking back to it now, like the place where I got depressed again, I realized that because I spent so much time away from God, I gave the devil like so much hold over my life. There was days that I would sit and I would cry and be like, God doesn't love me anymore. It's now because I've done this, now God can't use me again. I'd literally sit there and be like, God doesn't love me. That's the biggest lie ever told. The devil's a liar. But I gave him that hold like it was my fault. Most of the things that I learned in my Christian walk that would keep me sane, like, I literally brushed it at the back of my mind. Who am I to think because one little thing in my life has gone wrong that God is a liar now? No one is too big to fall. But don't stay there. Don't stay in that chapter where you're down, where you're sad, where you're depressed. Don't stay there. I do believe that the longer you stay there, the harder it is to get up and be on your feet again. It's all a choice, you know. It's actually a choice. Like, obviously the devil attacks people, but if you choose to stay down, you might actually stay down. I hope I've said everything I wanted to say. Oh, check up on your friends as well. Even like when I was down again, I didn't tell anybody because it was almost embarrassing. It was almost like a whole me that everyone knows I've come out of like my depression. I've now gone back in there. If anybody else is even going through something similar, don't ever be too embarrassed to say so, because at the end of the day you need help. Everyone needs to be happy, everyone needs to be okay, everyone needs to be cared for. Make use of those that are around you. I'm saying all these things because I wish I told myself these things at the time. Honestly, just believe that God is your strength, because we can't do this life by ourselves. We actually can't. As much as we try, and I feel like, yeah, at the time as well, when I wasn't praying, I wasn't going to church, I really felt like I could do it by myself, but I couldn't, because I'll come home every day and cry. So I was deceiving no one but myself. But yeah, I hope you guys have learned something, or you know, could relate to something that I've said. Comment, feel free to talk to me, ask me anything. Don't forget to like, share and subscribe. Bye.